Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make a really pretty right angle weave bracelet. So I have been working really hard to create some original bead weaving things, and my designs are not intricate at all. Let me just say that. They are very simple, but I don't think anyone else has done this one that I've seen. So yeah, so I'm trying to do some original things. And so this is what I've come up with for this one. This is a right angle weave with some embellishment, and here is another color sample. So actually, I did this bracelet with this one right here. This one with the blue was the first one that I did, and I made a couple of mistakes. If you can see right here, I've got thread on the outside of this bead. Have no idea how that happened, but there it is. And then I didn't use enough seed beads on the middle embellishments, and some thread shows. So I was like, okay, well, this is a prototype and we're going to do 2.1 here. And 2.1 turned out pretty good, but I missed a seed bead somewhere in here, and you can't even see it because, I mean, you would really have to look. I don't even know where it is, but I know that I did it because I made a video of this one, but I was off screen for some of the video, and I've got to get that under control. I'm really bad to go off the bottom of the screen. So what I've done is I've laid down this little piece scrap of beading material. If you can see it, I've got white underneath and then this pink. And the pink shows me this is where I'm in frame. So if I stay in here, I'm in frame. So hopefully I can do that right today, because this was going to be the video of this one, but obviously we're redoing that again. So anyway, these are very, very simple. All they require are 6mm rounds. Now, you may be able to do bigger ones, but you would have to play with the numbers of your other beads here, and you could probably do smaller, but again, you'd have to play with the numbers of your other beads. All I've done it with so far have been 6mm rounds. So you're going to need some 6mm rounds. You're going to need 4mm bicones in 2 different colors. So I've used here the blue and the AB, and here I've used black, and this one I used a fire polish. So you can use other things. You can use rondelles, you can use all different kinds of things. Then you're going to need a clasp, and for my clasps on here, I've used toggles. I use this little simple toggle here, and then I like this leaf. I think it's pretty. When you put it on, it looks real pretty. And then you're going to need 1 color of seed beads, and you can see the little seed beads in here. So this is super, super easy to make, and so that's what you're going to need if you want to make this. A couple things that I wanted to mention before I get into this. I have a subscriber who is looking to trade some beads. Now she does a lot of like wire working and stringing gemstones and stuff like that. So she has a bunch of 2-hole specialty check beads. She's got a bunch of like Fireline, 1G thread, stuff like that. And just a lot of like the check specialty 2-hole kind of beads, like super duos, crescent beads, just a bunch of that stuff. And she's wanting to trade that stuff for like some gemstones, some focal pieces, just that kind of stuff. So I don't have enough gemstones and focal pieces and stuff, I don't think, to make her a fair trade. I wish I did, because I would love to have a bunch of those 2-hole check beads, but I don't think I have enough, to put together to actually make her a fair trade. So I told her I would ask on here if anybody knew of like a group, like a Facebook group or something for trading, where you can get on there and trade beads and jewelry supplies. So if you guys know of something like that, will you please comment in the description box below? It doesn't have to be a Facebook group, it can be any group, but just if you know of something that where people get on there and trade things, that'd be great. So that's the first thing. Number 2, I want to thank all my Patreon supporters. I mentioned their names in a video yesterday, so I'm not going to go through all the names again. But yeah, I just want to say thank you. It doesn't matter if it's $1, it is helping me. I had no idea before I got laid off and really started like focusing on my website and YouTube channel, and I've uploaded 35 pages of jewelry to my website, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm like getting caught up, but I still have a bunch to do. But I had no idea how much shipping supplies cost. And I charge a flat rate of $3.75 on my website, which usually turns out to be right about what I need, or maybe just a little, like 25 cents over what I need. I mean, it gives me 25 cents more, but some of the bigger stuff, like the gemstone lots and stuff that I shipped out, I lost on shipping on those, which is fine. I'm not, out to make a big bunch of money, but what I'm saying is I didn't realize how expensive the shipping supplies, like bubble mailers. Oh my goodness. They charge, don't even buy those. Like if you ship things out, don't buy those at Office Depot and places like that. They're like $2 a piece. It's ridiculous. So I got online and found them cheaper, but still, all that shipping stuff is really expensive. And like the little jewelry boxes that you buy to put, some jewelry has to be shipped in little boxes because it's so fragile. Some of it doesn't, but most of it does. So, I just spent, Chris was like, what did you spend $43, $45 on Amazon for? And I said, jewelry boxes. He's like, jewelry, but you're spending $45 on jewelry? And I'm like, yes, you don't understand. I have to ship things in boxes. You can't just put them in a baggie and send them out because, they're fragile. So it's funny. But anyway, that's what the Patreon supporters, that's the kind of things you're helping me be able to do. So, and the tutorials, it funds like the supplies for tutorials and just stuff like that. So anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody. I've had a couple people say, I know it's not much, but you don't understand. Every little penny helps because, it's just a big help. So anyway, I wanted to thank you. And another thing, my website. Like I said, I've uploaded 35 pages of jewelry to this website. I found when I was cleaning out the closet in here, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes, but I was cleaning out the closet in here and I found a whole tub, not a big tub, but a container of jewelry that needs pictures taken and uploaded to the website. I was like, oh my goodness, it's stuff I had like packed up after a show and just not unpacked, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, so now I thought I was caught up almost and I'm not. Oh, so there's a lot more to do there, but if you sign on to the website, I wanted to tell everybody, because I've had a couple people ask me, they're like, I can't find this on there. Everything is in a category. What you do when you get on the website, on the left-hand side upper right, you will see 3 little white lines. If you click on those white lines, it'll bring up a little drop-down menu and it'll say Shop Entire Collection. If you click on the Shop Entire Collection, it will bring up all of the categories of jewelry, and I've got everything in categories: necklaces, earrings, necklace and earring sets, seashell pendant kits. All the kits are in there in their own little categories. So yeah, that's one easy way to navigate the website if you're having issues with that. I've had a couple people ask me, they're like, I can't find this, are you out of it? And I'm like, no, it's there. It's just a little tricky. The guy that designed my website is super, but I don't like the way he did the front page because the front page brings up me and I don't really want to be on the front page. I want my jewelry to be on the front page. So I'm going to email him today and see if he can switch that for me and just put, like, I don't know, some of my jewelry up there on the front and not the picture of me. I don't really want to be on the front of my website. So I didn't do that, he did, but, and he's a great guy, so, he does a great job, but, I didn't, like, specify anything, I just told him to build something, so he did what he thought was best, and I appreciate it, but I'm gonna ask him if he'll switch up that one thing. Okay, so that takes care of that. I just wanted everybody to know, because I didn't want anybody to get on there and not be able to find what you're looking for. Okay, so I think that's everything, so let's jump right into this. So get your supplies together: 6mm round bead, 2 different sizes of 4mm bicones, and some seed beads, and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pick up a seed bead, whoops, just one, a pearl, a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, and this is what you should have on your needle. Okay, so you should have 4, starting with seed beads, 4 seed beads, and 4 pearls. Now, bring them all the way down to the end of your thread. You do not need a stop bead, and you only need a small tail, just big enough to tie a knot. We're not going to sew, we're not going to be sewing back through the tail, or sewing back, the tail in. So we're just going to tie a knot, because this project is very, very, your beads have plenty of room and you're not going to be going through things a whole lot of times, just a couple times. Okay, so sew back up through, start at the bottom, and sew back up through all your beads. This is going to make them into a circle. So start at the very bottom and sew back up through everything, and watch your tail that it doesn't pull out when you pull through here, because sometimes it does. Okay, and just pull through. And let me get my tail a little bit longer here just so I have enough to tie. Okay. All right. And that will pull everything into a little circle like this. Okay. And then you're just going to tie off your tail. So I just do an overhanded knot, a regular overhanded knot, like this. And then I do a surgeon's knot, which is just where you go through one time and then through a second time and then tie. Okay? And you've got a cute little circle here. Now, you're coming out of this pearl, sew through the next two beads right here, the seed bead right here and the pearl. Okay? Pull through. Okay, and here's what we've got. Now just make sure that pull your knot real tight there, and you can go ahead and trim your tail if you want to. My scissors obviously need sharpened. They will not cut fire line. That's pretty bad. Oh goodness. There we go. That's pretty bad. Okay, so we're going to sew all the way back around through all of the little beads in this unit. Okay, and the only reason we're doing that is just this bracelet. If you don't sew through every unit twice, it is very, very floppy, and I don't like my bracelets to be real floppy. So we're going to sew through each unit again, and it just firms it up really good. Okay, so we need to be coming out of this bottom pearl, so just sew through the seed bead and the pearl like this, and you'll be coming out of this pearl. And you can jerk your work right off the table if you want to, but I would not advise it. All right, now we're going to do our next unit. So we have this little box right here, and we've got the top of our next box, and we're just going to put 3 more on and make another box. Okay, this is this is not hard at all. Let me move these over here. Okay, so we're going to pick up a seed bead, a pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, and seed bead. Okay, now you don't need another pearl because it's right here. Okay, and then you're going to go back up from the bottom. So you're coming out the top here. You're going to go back up through the bottom of this pearl, just like that. And when you pull, you will have another little box. See? Okay, so I like to flip my work because I like to work from the bottom up. And we're going to sew through all the beads in this unit one more time. It's super simple. Just sew through all the beads. It just firms it up. And you need to keep your tension tight in this project. Don't let there be extra thread showing through. Keep it real tight. Just pull everything real tight. So sew through this entire unit again until you get back to the top pearl where you started. Okay, give it a good pull, and this is what you should have. 2 little units. Okay, now we need to be coming out of this one right here, this pearl up at the top. So we're going to sew through these beads, sew through the seed bead, the pearl, and the other seed bead. I was going to try to do it in one swoop, but it won't let me. Okay, go through this seed bead and this pearl, and we'll be coming out of the bead that we need to be coming out of. And just pull tight. Okay, so here we are. We're coming out of this bead right here, this top end pearl. So we've got our top one, like right here. We just need these 3 bottom ones and the seed beads. So we're going to pick up a seed bead, a pearl, a seed bead, a pearl, a seed bead, pearl, and a seed bead. Okay, this is what you should have: 3 pearls and 4 seed beads. And you're going to go from the bottom right back up through, not where your thread's coming out, where you go in the opposite end of where your thread's coming out, and pull. And I just try to hold it right there until I get it pulled, and then I flip my work because I just like to work this way for some reason. And then I'm going to sew back through the entire unit just like we did last time. And you may think that you don't need to do this, and believe me, you can try it without doing it. You can do it however you want, but it is going to be one floppy little bracelet if you don't sew back through the unit one more time. So I know it takes time, but believe me, it's worth it in the end, okay? So we've sewn back through. We're coming out of this one, but we need to be coming out of this one up here. So we're going to sew up to it. And go through this top pearl. And I keep knocking those seed beads. Did you see what I just did? I knocked them everywhere. Okay, and give it a good tug. And now you're coming out of where you need to be coming out. Let me try to get these seed beads. Goodness, knocked them everywhere. Okay. Alright, so we're coming out this top pearl. We need to add our next unit. So seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead, pearl, seed bead. 4 seed beads and 3 pearls. And we're coming out the bottom right here. So we're going to go around and in the top and pull. And we've got our next little unit. And we're going to sew around it. Right up through here. Sew around the entire unit again. Now, both of my bracelets that I did have 15 of these units on it. And you have to make sure when you're figuring out how many units that you need that you account for your clasp, okay? So make sure that, you know, if you have a big clasp or if you're using a toggle, that you make sure that you don't put too many units on that your bracelet ends up being too big. Okay, so we've sewn around and we're coming out this bead, but we need to be coming out this one. So let's sew up until we get to it. Okay. And what did I just do? Oh, I've looped through my thread right here, so let me fix that. That won't be good. There we go. Okay, and come out right here out this top pearl. Alright, now we're coming out the top pearl, just like this. And we're just going to continue doing the same thing until we have the length that we need for our bracelet. And like I said, for me, it's 15 boxes. My wrist is about 6.5 inches, between 6 and 6.5. So, you know, but I want to account for the toggle. So we're going to pick up a seed bead, pearl, seed bead, somewhere, seed bead, okay, pearl, seed bead, pearl, and another seed bead, and we've got 4 seed beads and 3 pearls on our needle. Okay, we're coming out the bottom of this pearl, so we're going to go back in the top, just like this, and pull. Okay, and then we're going to sew around the entire unit, just like this. And I know you probably think it's so tedious to have to sew around them extra, but I can't say enough how much of a difference it makes in the outcome of your bracelet. And it really doesn't take that much longer. I mean, okay, so we're back into the bottom purl, but we've got to be coming out this top one. So let's sew back around to it. Just like this. And we go through here, we're coming out the top, and we're ready to add on our next unit. So make sure that you pull tight, keep your tension very tight on this whole project, and go ahead and sew the rest of your units that you need to make your length, okay? And then we'll come back. Okay, so I remembered the other thing that I wanted to tell you guys that I couldn't remember when I was doing my little housekeeping announcements. And I'm still just sewing on my units, so I thought I would pop back in and tell you this real quick. I have a Facebook page just for my beading. I have a personal Facebook page too, and you're welcome to friend me on there, but I also have a Facebook page for the beading. It is called A Bead on a Wire Jewelry. And I will link it in the description box below. But I would love to see, like when I do these tutorials and just anything that you guys make, I would love to see pictures. If you would get on there and post pictures of your jewelry, especially from the tutorials that I do. I would love to see what you make from it. So I think that would be a lot of fun. You know, I hear people, you'll say a lot of times, I made this, and you know, I made this, but I don't get to see it a lot. Some people email me some pictures, and I love that too. But I would love if you would post it on the Facebook page so that everybody could see it. I think that would be really cool. So, yeah, that is one thing that I wanted to say that I didn't say before. So, like, if you make this bracelet, if you get on the Facebook page and post some pictures of it, that would be, I would love that. I'm going to go ahead probably and link this video on that Facebook page. I haven't really been trying to like link YouTube and Facebook too much. I got brave a while back because I'm really like shy about people I know, like my personal family and friends and stuff, watching my videos. I don't know why. I don't even like for Chris to hear me when I'm recording. It's just, it's a weird thing. But anyway, so I hadn't even told like my family and friends and stuff that I really had a YouTube channel. Oh, and so I got on my personal Facebook one day and I was like, okay, I need to try to grow this YouTube channel, blah, blah, blah. So I announced that I had a YouTube channel, and I don't think anybody subscribed to it. So obviously they don't care, but I am going to try a little bit more to create a link between my YouTube and my Facebook. So I'm going to start posting links to my tutorial videos on the beading Facebook, not my personal one, but the beading one. And then I don't know, just I would love it if you guys would go over there and post pictures of the things you make, of the tutorials and stuff. So that would make me really happy. So we're just continuing on with these little units. I think I need 15 total. I'm trying to watch my recording time. My camera was cutting off at like 31 minutes and 45 seconds. 31 minutes and 45 seconds. I don't really understand why it started doing that, because it didn't do that before, and then all of a sudden it started doing that. So I would get, and it would say video size limit reached, and I'm thinking, why is there a video size limit? I mean, I should be able to record 3-hour video if I want to, if I have the storage space on my phone. So I was saying something about it to Chris, like having to merge videos, and he's like, you shouldn't have to merge videos. And I'm like, well, it stops me after 31 minutes and 45 seconds every time. So he had a new, I don't know what he put in it, some kind of card that he put in my phone. But he said that it might make it better. So I'm kind of interested to see. I'm at 24 minutes right now. I'm interested to see when I get to 31 minutes and 45 seconds if this little thing stops. So then we will know. This is a test today. And what have I done? I've gone through my thread somehow. Let me fix this. Okay, here we go. So we've all been home now and in quarantine for several weeks. I got laid off March 19th, so I've been home for a month, a little over a month. And I have found out some things about myself and about Chris. But I think it's kind of funny because you find these things out about yourself when you're in situations like this. And so a couple of things I've learned. I knew that I liked to be home. Like, I just like to be home. It's my favorite place. And I had made the comment before, oh, I could stay home 24/7 and never go anywhere. And people were like, no, you would get tired of it. And I'm like, no, really, I don't think I would. So I have proven to myself that no, I don't get tired of being home. I thought I knew this about myself, but I wasn't really sure because I'd never tested it out because I've worked a full-time job since I was 16. So, but I have definitely figured it out now. I could stay home 24/7, 365, never go anywhere, and be completely content. I have always been able to find something to do. I've cleaned out every closet in this house. I have reorganized my beadroom like twice now, and still don't feel like I have it totally the way I want it. The other day, I had a big 5-drawer chest of drawers inside the closet up here, mainly because when we moved in, we didn't know where else to put it, and it was just drawer space, and this is also the guest room, so it was just extra storage in there, and I did have some things in the drawers, but not a whole lot. So I'm sitting in here the other day, and I'm looking around at the room, and I'm thinking, how can I maximize this space in this room? And I'm looking in that closet, and I'm like, I'm gonna take that chest of drawers out and put a 4-foot table in there, and then I would have like a whole nother space to work on. So I took the chest of drawers out and put it in the hallway, and in the hallway where the chest of drawers was, we had a little 4-shelf unit, like, four little shelves high. It's not very tall, it's just like 3 feet tall. And so I put it had board games on it, so I put the chest of drawers where it was, filled the drawers with the board games, put the shelf on a little 4-foot table in the closet, and it made so much more space. I was like, oh my goodness, why did I not do this before? But those are the kinds of things that I do when I'm home. I just, I don't know, I never get bored of being home. We've planted a garden. I have flowers planted outside, and I go outside every day and look at them, and I just never get tired of being home. The squirrels have gotten to the point on the back porch that when I come outside, they don't even run anymore. They're just like, oh, hey, how are you? Now, they don't let me get close, but on the back deck, they don't leave. They all stay there and hang out on the back deck as long as I just sit down and be still and don't, be doing any sudden movements. They still sit there and eat their birdseed, and yeah, so I don't know. I just love to be home. So I've learned that about myself for sure. Another thing I've learned about myself, or about Chris, I guess I should say, more this is about him, is that he talks nonstop, like all the time. Literally. My computer is in his office where he works during the day, and he's still working because he works by phone remotely. And I'll go in there and try to sit down and upload things to my website, and I am not I can multitask really well, but I can't talk and concentrate on something. So if this beading required any concentration at all from me, I would not be able to sit here and talk and do this at the same time. So I can't upload things to my website and talk to somebody at the same time. I can't do it. Like, I have to write the descriptions, and I just can't. I have to concentrate. So he talks nonstop. Like, I'm not kidding. He can be, and I'm not talking about being on the phone with people talking. I'm talking just talking out loud. Like, I need to write. Okay, so the new little card or memory thing or whatever failed the test. My video did quit, and I have no idea where it quit. So, but we're not doing anything differently than we were doing. We're just adding these last 2 boxes on here to get the length of 15. So I don't know where it quit, but it's recording again. So So I don't know. I didn't think it was at 30. Maybe it was, well, maybe it was at 31 minutes. But yeah. So I don't know why my phone is doing that. I'm going to Google it. If anybody knows, if you have an Android phone and you know why it gives you a video limit after a while, it's probably a setting that I have hit and messed up my phone, but I don't know. Okay, so this is what I've got. I definitely need the last box on, and I may have to add another one on this one. I don't know why, but I think this is, maybe this is just 13 and I need 2 more, but always hold it up to your wrist and see, you know, make sure, don't just go by a number, because I don't know, even though they're all the same, I'm saying to use the same size beads as I used on the other one. You just never know. Sometimes things lay a little bit different, or your seed beads may, you know, one version may be thicker than the other, and I'm just using these, I think are just cheap Chinese seed beads, so they could be like, some could be thicker than others, but okay, so there's our little unit. But anyway, I think I was talking about Sadie and how she just looks at me all the time, like she follows me through the house 24/7, no matter where I'm at, and just looks at me. She's not used to me being home all the time, so she must think I'm really fascinating, because literally she follows me. I've got the door shut right now, so she can't get in here, but because she barks at things, but you know, if I go out of here, there she'll be sitting outside the door probably, or she'll be laying in Chris's office and she'll hear me and she'll get up. And if I go downstairs, she will follow me downstairs and just sit and look at me wherever I am. It's kind of freaky, but I love her. She's awesome. Okay. Now the clasp I'm using on this one is a big flower clasp. And so here's what we have. So this is the clasp that I'm going to use, and it is this big flower. And I like to add a few jump rings to my toggle. So this is probably plenty big enough. I do not need to add any more boxes on here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it is the 15. Okay. So now, here's what we've got. We've got the 15 boxes. Let me move the pearls out of the way. We're done with our 6mm beads. So if you want to get them out of your way, you can. Now we're going to be using the seed beads and the bicones. I've got such a mess here on my mat. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add on our clasp. So what you need to do for that is you need to pick up 3 seed beads. 3 seed beads. Whichever color that you want to use for, you know, this right here, this little bicone is what you're picking up. So I'm going to use this darker one. And then pick up, now here's something you have to think about. When I pick this up, the seed beads will not go through here. So I'm going to do 3 seed beads and then my clasp, okay, and then 3 more seed beads. But if your clasp has a bigger hole and they'll just flow through there, then you don't have to worry about separating them. But if your hole is small and it will be blocked by your seed beads, then you need to do 3, put your clasp on and do 3 more, okay? Then we're going to go back down through the bicone only, okay? Just like this. Pull tight. And then add on 3 more seed beads, and where our thread is coming out this side, we need to go to the opposite side and go through the pearl this way, back towards our work, like this. Okay? And that adds on our clasp. Now you want to pull it tight, and you want to sew back through this whole thing twice if you can. So you want it to be nice and strong, and you want it to be pulled very tight. So I'm just going to sew back through it. And make sure that you're pulling your thread taut and you don't have, you know, extra thread just laying in there. Get through that. And be careful when you're doing this too that you get through all these little seed beads, you don't miss one, because when you do miss one, it messes everything up. And I've done that before. Okay, we're going to go back through here. And we're going to go back through the pearl. Pull tight, pull it really tight, keep your tension tight. And then I'm going to try to sew through one more time just because I like that added security of knowing that it's sturdy. Okay, we're still recording. I just keep making sure. I don't know why it stops at a certain time, but okay. So let's get back through these beads. Come on. Oh my goodness. I'm just not able to get in it. It seems like I know the hole is big enough for me to fit through. Yeah, there we go. I just was coming at it from the wrong angle. Through here. And back down. Okay. And once you go through it this last time, we're going to start our embellishments. So let me get through these last 3 seed beads right here. Make sure you don't get that caught on your clasp. Okay, now we're going to go through the pearl. And it doesn't really matter which side of the pearl you're coming out of. Just so you're coming out this top pearl. Okay, then we're going to go down through the seed bead right here and through the pearl, the first pearl, just like this. Okay, and here we are. Now we're going to add our side embellishments. So what you're going to do is you're going to pick up a seed bead, a bicone, a seed bead, a bicone in your second color, a seed bead, and another bicone. This is the pattern that I'm using, and another seed bead. So I'm doing 2 of my light ones and 1 of my dark ones. You're going to skip this pearl right here. We're going to skip all the way over to this pearl, the next one, and go through the pearl this way. Okay? So you're coming out of this one, skip this one, go through this one. And when you do, it's going to set those right there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. Seed bead, bicone, seed bead, number 2 bicone, seed bead, number 1 bicone, and seed bead. Just like this. Okay. Skip this pearl and go down through this one. So another thing that I've learned about myself since we've been home and in quarantine is, and this is kind of funny, I have lived away from home since I was 18 years old. I graduated high school, got married, and we moved to California like 2 weeks later. And I lived in California for several years, and then we lived in Virginia for several years. And then when Logan was about 5 months old, we moved home. And we've been home for all this time now. But I've lived away, you know, from my family for a lot of my adult life. I'm used to it. And when we first moved to California, I was really homesick for a while. And then we had lived, you know, we lived back home for several years, and then we moved to Fayetteville. And when we moved to Fayetteville, I had a hard time the first couple of months, but mostly because I missed my boys, because, you know, I just was not used to being away from them at all. And so, but it's gotten easier over time, and so now I'm like, I have not been home since Christmas because of the virus. I can't go home, and so it's got me really I've just been really homesick. And so I talked to my mom on the phone the other day, and I talk to her all the time. It's not like I haven't talked to her since Christmas, but I talked to her the other day, and when I hung up from her, I was just like, I cried. I was like, I am so sad and I miss them all so much and I'm homesick, and just kind of surprised me because I haven't really been homesick like that, you know, since for years since I was younger, because I've lived away a lot. But I am tired of this whole virus thing in that respect. I want to go home and I can't. And I talked to Landon yesterday and he's like so bored. He's bored out of his mind, and he's like, the second they lift this like ban, he said, I'm coming to visit North Carolina. And I'm like, well, I may pass you on my way to West Virginia because, you know, I want to go visit home. And I was kidding with him, but, you know, it's just weird. I've never gone this long without seeing my kids in their entire lives. I mean, never. And I hate every second of this. I really want to be able to see them. I miss them a whole lot. So that part, that's another thing I figured out about myself, is I can still get homesick, even though, you know, I've been away and lived away, and I don't know. It's just kind of funny. So, okay, so here's what we have. We've sewn all the way down the side. We're coming out right here, so we need to come out our top purl. So just sew right through and come out your top purl right here. We're going to add the toggle bar on. So let's do 3 seed beads. 2, 3. You want to probably use the same color bicone that you used on your other end, just to make it match. 3 more seed beads. These little seed beads are like sticking together for some reason. It's like their paint has them glued to, some of them glued together, and some of them are kind of hard to get on the needle. So 3 more seed beads. I'm going to pick up my toggle bar. Move this down. Then I need 3 more seed beads. Okay, and now I'm going to go back through the bicone right here. Just the bicone, not those 3 seed beads. And just pull tight. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to pick up 3 more seed beads. And we're coming out of this purl, or coming out right here on the purl. We need to go back in the other side to create our little loop. Okay, just like this. Now, what I want to do before I finalize this is I want to check and make sure that my toggle will go through here. And it does. It does with no problem. But you want to make sure that you have a long enough space here that your toggle will fit through your the loop part without giving you any trouble, okay? And it seems like this is going to be just fine. If you see that you're going to have trouble, then you can add more seed beads in here, or you can attach a couple jump rings to it, okay? But this seems like it's going to be fine. So now we need to reinforce. So we're going to sew up through these 3 and up through the bicone. Okay, go up through these 3 seed beads.
Have you had any patience with that virus?
Go through here. Back down through these 3. And back down through the bicone. Back down through these 3. Pull tight. You want this to be tight. You don't want a lot of thread showing, and back through your purl. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do the embellishments on the other side. So I'm going to get you started, and then it's just going to be the same thing that we did. So we're going to sew through this seed bead and this purl right here. And then you're just going to do the same thing we did on the other side. You're going to pick up a seed bead, bicone in the one color, seed bead. Well, if I can get them to go on my needle. Bicone in your second color, seed bead, bicone in the first color, and a seed bead. Okay, and you're going to skip this purl and go through this purl. just like this. So do this all the way down the side and we'll come back. Okay, so here's where we're at. We've gone all the way down both sides and we're coming out this pearl right here, right there. We need to be coming out this top pearl. So sew through your seed bead and your top pearl, just like this. And we're going to do our embellishments down the middle. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do for this is we're going to pick up a seed bead, and whichever color bicone that you want to start with going down the middle. I'm going to start with this light champagne color because I have a darker one here. I'm sorry, pick up 2 seed beads. Very sorry, I should have paid attention. 2 seed beads, a bicone, and 2 seed beads. Okay, so here's what you've got on your needle. And we're coming out of this top pearl right here. Okay, now it doesn't matter. You can flip it and be coming out the top. It doesn't matter. Just what you're going to do is you're going to go to the opposite pearl on your box, so the bottom pearl, and you're going to go through that pearl the opposite way of where you're coming out the top pearl. So if I'm coming out the bottom, I want to go in the top of this one. If I'm coming out the top, I want to go in the bottom of this one. Okay, it doesn't matter which way you have your work flipped, but what you're doing when you pull this tight is you're laying this little embellishment across there. Okay, so now we're going to pick up 2 seed beads, the bicone in our other color, and 2 seed beads. Okay, so I'm coming out of the pearl here. I'm going to go in the bottom pearl this way, and it creates a diagonal little embellishment across there, just like that. Okay, we'll do another one. 2 seed beads, bicone, 2 seed beads. Okay, make sure my camera's still recording. It is. All right, and we're going to go in. We're coming out of this one this way, so we're going to go in the opposite one the other way. Okay, and what that's doing is laying down these little embellishments all the way down your bracelet. 2 seed beads, a bicone, 2 seed beads. And you can, I mean, you don't have to do it in exactly the pattern I'm doing it. You can do it however you want. In the blue one, I alternated. If you can see here, I alternated blue, clear, blue, clear. In this one, I just did all black down the middle. Okay, so you can do it however you want. 2 seed beads, bicone, 2 seed beads. And I believe Mia gave me these light bicones, and I love this color so much. I thought they were really pretty on this bracelet. I love them. So 2 seed beads, this bicone, and 2 seed beads. Okay, and we're just doing the same thing all the way down. I hope I don't run out of thread. I may have to add thread at the very end of this. I hate adding thread. 2 seed beads, the lighter bicone, and 2 seed beads. Okay, we're just going through that pearl, and it's laying down those embellishments all the way down the middle. And these little seed beads are all stuck together. That's so weird. 2 seed beads, the bicone, 2 seed beads. Okay. I may have to add thread. I hate adding thread. 2 seed beads, bicone, 2 seed beads. Two seed beads, bicone, 2 seed beads. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to add some thread, I think. I don't think I'm going to Well, maybe not. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make it to the bottom with enough to tie knots. Okay, 2 seed beads, bicone, and 2 seed beads. It's going to be close. I may make it. Two seed beads, bicone, 2 seed beads, it's going to be really close. That seed bead doesn't match. I've got a stray little odd one in there. Bicone, 2 seed beads. Yeah, don't let yourself run this short on thread. It's better to put more on your needle than to run out. That's my philosophy anyway. I don't know, maybe people don't hate adding thread as much as I do, but I despise it. And I'm gonna make it, but it's gonna be barely. So let's add this last one on. 2 seed beads, the lighter bicone, and 2 seed beads. All right, so we're going to go through our last purl here. Now, if I had enough thread, here's what I would do. I would sew back down both sides of the embellishments on this, but I don't. So I'm going to tie my knot right here where I'm at, because I'm out of thread. So yeah, don't run yourself this close on thread. Oh, I may not. I don't know. I've got to be able to get a knot in there. See if I can get down to the very end of my needle here. I don't want to have to add thread, and this is bending the needle. That's one thing I don't like about this thread. This fire line is it's got like this waxy coating, which is really good for you know, sturdiness purposes, but obviously it's not going to come off if I try to. But it's hard to get out of your needle sometimes, and it'll bend your needle up. So this needle is going to be trashed anyway, so I'm just going to bend it so I can get through there. Pull it tight. See if I can make one more, and then I'm probably going to keep this bracelet and not sell it, because I would have wanted to sew back down both sides and just to sturdy up those embellishments, and then don't poke yourself, and then I would have wanted better knots than this. So it's not gonna, I will keep this bracelet for sure and just not sell it, because I don't feel like it's what I would want to put out there and sell. Even though it's very pretty. Did I get through there? No. Yeah, okay. It's got one knot. If it comes apart, oh well. It's, you know, it'll come apart on me and not somebody else. So I'm going to sew back down through there, and that is it. So do not sell yourself short on the thread. That is not good. Sorry, I just bumped the camera. But it did turn out really pretty. So there it is. When you put it on and you clasp it, I love these flower toggles. I think they're so pretty. See if I can get it on by myself. Usually I have to have Chris help me, but I think these flower toggles are so pretty. They're just decorative, and maybe I can't. Yeah, there we go. See how that looks on your wrist? It's just beautiful. And if your bracelet flips around, it's still very pretty. But I love this bracelet. I think it's very pretty. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and watching my struggle there at the end, but don't sell yourself short on the thread. That's the lesson to be learned. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe to my channel, and click the little bell so you'll be notified when I upload more videos. If you don't click that little bell, then it's not going to tell you when I upload. And there are a couple of time-sensitive things, like when I did the lots last time, everybody was like, I didn't see it, I missed it, and blah, blah. So, you know, click the bell and you'll be notified when I upload. So, yeah, and if you guys really, I would love it if you would go over to the Facebook page and you know, post your pictures. That would make me really happy. So, but anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll have a bargain bead box unveiling if we ever get them in the mail. I'm excited for it. I feel like we've been waiting forever. So when that comes, I'll be excited to upload that. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.